Yeah.
Yes.
17. It's time for the podcast. Coming down, so you better think fast. Never no more. Ready for another brain blast. I'm bringing the D. Dan is my name. Ginger like a biscuit, crazy like a train. I'm fucking tall, but my hair's run away. I'm shining like a beacon, make the horses go neigh.
I'm little Jimmy Phipps, jamming to my chums. Show me that girl from Bangkok. What we do it come profound. Make percussive sounds. Wise like a Merlin, nearly got a billy mound. I'm a fan of moral cheese, rub it on my knees. It's a big problem, do not trust me with your bees.
Bees going buzz. Little chinny fuzz.
Yeah. Where's the honey? Oh, sorry, did I just interrupt you?
I don't know what to say now.
Huh?
I've run up. Spitting bars on the cars. Driving quite fast. Never can't fuck.
never can't fuck. Because then you're rapping, oh, I'm really fast. Watch me go. Yeah.
Episode 17. Thank you for listening.
Not a single word.
That's all, isn't it? Sorry. Hi. Sweet.
And James.
Pissy piss flaps.
that's an intro.
That's how we start around here.
It's all
and the
style.
dog's immediately scratching at the door because he just wants some of this sweet, you know?
It's a podcast, not a dogcast.
It's a dogcast.
It's a dogcast.
It's a dogcast. Okay.
Courage, damn it.
Hello, y'all. Welcome to number 17. We just don't stop. We've got some problem. Some sort of compulsion. Things are wrong up in here.
Up in here, up in here. Right, I'm sitting down again now.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. Okay. Now I've got... this week, you will see from the title, but we've genuinely forgotten. You did whiskey.
Yeah.
And I've done stupid laws.
Stupid laws.
Or laws that shouldn't exist. I don't know what we'll end up calling it. Something like that. I might just be dumb fucking laws.
Derp laws.
Derp laws. Derp laws.
That sounds like a derp laws.
Deplorables. Deplora laws. Anyway, so... yeah, there's just some dumbass laws that shouldn't exist, but they do. Or maybe they should exist. We can discuss this at length.
I'm
anyway,
intrigued.
I'm also intrigued. But I know, so it's less intriguing. Anyway, caveat. What caveat? Honourable mention? No. I've got to say something. Fuck it. So I listened to the podcast that we did last week because I like listening to it myself. Alright? And it became very clear to me, and I should say this while I record here's what I do, and I didn't really know I did it. Because I listen to things like ums and you know, like turns of phrase where you just say the same thing over and over again. And I'm like, there's a few things I've heard myself do a lot, and I'm trying to curb that. But something that I realised last week is you'll come up with a fact. You'll say, here's my fact, and before you elaborate on it, I'm like, oh yeah, and I'll tell you loads of things about the thing you're about to tell me. And it's such a dickhead thing to do. And I heard myself doing it last week about something like that, and I was like, for fuck's sake. And then I went off on tangents about all other interesting things that really interested me about the thing that I told you about, the thing you were about to tell me. And I was like, what a bell end I am. So James, on the record, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was doing it. I just thought I was being ever so interesting, and I'm obviously just a massive bell. But this is good. This is good. It's educational, because it's I wouldn't normally hear myself talking. I just leave the conversation and go, how clever are you, Dan? What a ledge you are. And now I'm like, hopefully a better conversationalist and of more value to those I speak to. So I'm sorry you had to go through that, but you have improved me as a person. So that's the fair and upside down moment. All right.
Well, you say that, but I feel like you improved my facts.
Well, I mean, that's a self-esteem thing on your part. That's nothing to do with it. I think like you're chucking out the gold. You have interesting things to tell me. Generally speaking, I'm like I said earlier. Like I hear some of the facts you tell me for the first time when I re-listen to the podcast, because quite often I'm going over my notes. I'm going over my notes to see what I'm doing next, and I'm like, oh, I missed that bit. And I just want to be. I want to be more in the moment. So I'm going to try my best to just put my shit down. So I'm going to listen to you, and I'm trying not to talk over you because I'm a bit of a wanker. So
yeah, fuck you, Dan.
I'm very well. No one.
This is why I drink. No one listens to me.
It's like a Clinkies. He's on Jack and Coke. I'm on fucking Malibu and Coke. Because sometimes that's the best thing you have in your drinks cabinet. All right. So I'm sorry. You know, it's a bit fairy, but I'm doing my best.
But considering, so I'm taking research to a whole new level. So I'm doing whiskey stuff today.
Oh yeah, no. Tell me your plan.
So I'm doing an experiment about whiskey whilst I'm doing whiskey podcast.
You're rocking the premix, aren't you?
Well, I've got the pre-mixed cans, and I've got Jack Daniels with Coke Zero, and I'm comparing it. I know you shouldn't mix your drinks, but I'm comparing it to Jack Daniels with just Coke, no zero. And see which one. They were on 4 for free, and I bought 4 things. 2 of these ones, and I bought some Airy Fairy, Passion Fruit, Dead Man's Finger, and Spiced Rum and Coke. But I can't have rum today because I'm doing whiskey. So this is it. This is my facts number 1. There's no fucking difference.
Technically, Jack Daniels isn't whiskey, is it? It's a sour mash.
Well, if you listen to my facts,
you're right. I'm doing it again, aren't I?
Oh.
I literally jumped in, just whacked my dick on the table. Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
There it goes.
Yeah. I just.
In all fairness, I didn't actually write down that fact. I saw it.
Is it technically still a whiskey?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut the fuck up. It's fine.
I
think I'm being a trite little bellend. I'm sorry.
No, you're cool. You're cool.
It's all I have.
It's all right.
Okay. All right. So 1, 2 spaff.
1, 2 spaff.
For those who can't see, we're about to shake our fists at each other, and then we're gonna pick a gesture or a shape, and then one will beat the other. And that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2. See.
I cut his paper up with my strong, powerful scissors.
Technically, I was sheet metal, so I've just blunted you. No, it was paper. I'm sorry.
But I had sheet metal cutting scissors. I had industrial thick, teeth scissors.
Mine was covered in diamond.
Mine's made of goose's beaks.
Oh, you win. Sorry, hands down. The goose's beak wins everything.
That was a callback to last week, to the horrific goose story. Goose is a goose, of course. Alright, so I've got basically a bunch of dumb laws which are either no longer timely or were mental in the first place. And I'll do one around because they're a bit smaller than probably some of yours.
Oh, that's what she said.
Easy meow. Because I've got loads of them, but they may not. So the first one, the Madhouses Act of 1774.
Oh, sorry.
The Madhouses Act.
Okay.
Because back in the day, you weren't, you didn't have a particular disorder or anything. You were just mad, and if someone had a license, and they had to have a license to have someone who was a lunatic, a loony or lunatic, right? That was a technical term. So if you're lunatic, you had to have a license to have that in your house, and so all right, the Madhouses Act of 1774 restricted property owners to 1 lunatic per residence. You had to apply for a license, and this is genuinely the wording, if you wanted to start a collection. So, like, if you've got, like... No, but you apparently you need a license for any of them, but you could get it waived if you just had one. So, like, if you're like, your old mum's gone a bit mad, she's like, oh, is she a lunatic? Talk to a doctor, and they'll go, no, she's a lunatic, yeah. Okay, that's fine. But if your dad went mad, you'd have to get a license to keep them both in the same house, because there was. I think the ruling was basically it was to do like because you had literally like insane asylums, and it was all private. There was no NHS back then, so there was money to be made. So they just made it so that no one could just do that on a whim or like have a charity or something. If you had loonies in the same place, you had to have a license to have more than one.
That's mental.
Yeah. And that law wasn't rescinded, but it was amended or something. So it's not enforceable anymore, I don't think. But I don't think it was ever actually repealed. They take it away. It's like, no, that's not a thing anymore. So yeah, Madhouses Act. You can only have 1 lunatic per house. So that was the first law.
Okay, that's just quite. Because I suppose when you got like my mum used to work with people who had knees and things. I can't use the words like lunatics and things, but I suppose it needs to be like a special registered company with people who look after things.
Developmentally disabled, or would you? I mean, like in what category?
I don't. I can't really say any words because I don't know enough to be able to not offend and So
Yeah.
I know they had special needs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I mean, there was a blanket term for anyone with special needs back then.
Mm.
You were a lunatic,
Yeah.
like literally anyone, and it could be people who had probably what you'd call personality disorder or.
I think it's like schizophrenia and.
Oh yeah, but schizophrenia is like that's been diagnosed for quite a long time. But like, I think more like, I don't know, specific things or just dementia, like just old and mad. I mean, probably like my old nan. She's mental. No chance of listening to a podcast. I'm probably alright on that. But she's old and mad. But she's in her 90s. I feel like you've got it right. You've earned your mad points by then. I look forward to being mental, like 95-year-old, like
a mental club card.
Yeah, it's like I've been building up points my entire. It's like a mental pension, right? You pay into it. You pay your like intellectual national insurance your entire life, and then you get to a certain age, you're like, all right, I'm cashing out. I'm retiring my brain, and now I'm gonna become full bibble, just like, just like. But she's lovely, and I'm not being. This is just it's just how brains work. I'm not like this isn't discrimination, but back in the day, I'm saying that someone who had that would be in the same place with someone like with schizophrenia or someone who was disabled mentally so they would all put in the same grouping and just chuck together in an asylum, which is obviously awful.
Yeah, I've started collecting mine then.
Yeah, but you have to apply for a license.
Yeah.
To be fair, you probably have to do it today. Really, like if you wanted to like. I want to create a home for people who have like disorders or mental disorders. You probably would have to get some sort of authority to check on that and make sure that's okay, like kosher, because that's not.
Oh dear.
I would have thought, wouldn't you?
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know if you. It's sort of, there used to be. Oh, this is fucked up. I shouldn't even. This is very. I used to go to school. Where I used to go to school at the bus stop, right behind the bus stop was like this really big house, and it was like a care home. What?
Was this on the Mason Road?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where my mum works.
So they used to come out at the time we'd get the bus, right? And the bus driver fucking hated school kids. I mean, school kids can be little shit. So I'm not. He's probably got enough bad stories, right? But. Fucked up because I don't. So people used to come out of the home, and they were pretty disabled. I mean, these days I don't think they'd be getting the bus. Let's put it that way. They probably make sure they were in a vet. So they come out and like literally they couldn't speak. Some of them and they used to beat the shit out of us. Like they used to like one guy had a cane and he just started hitting us to get onto the bus. Like we'd be there queuing, waiting. The bus would pull up and then they'd just appear and start fucking caning us, right? And the bus driver would shout at the kids to get out of the way, and these people from the home would just club the fuck out of us to get onto the bus, and the bus driver would just cut the doors and shout at us and then drive off. So we always have to get the next bus. So like we literally were just looking over our shoulder, hoping these people were coming out of the home because we knew that the bus driver would pick them over us, and they fucking hit you. I mean, I got proper walloped in the head by this woman who used to swing a bag around, and this old boy had this stick, and it's like, it's fucked, isn't it? Right? And the thing is, I couldn't even. I remember telling my mum about it, and she's like, "Oh, they're just, they're disabled. They're not, like." They're disabled. She's just like, she was just, and I mean, because she probably think I was exaggerating. I'm like, no, they proper. Like one guy, he was proper like laid out. We sat with him for a bit because he was like he probably had a concussion. And they were really horrible. And that's the thing. When someone who's disabled or like elderly or something, when they're pricks, it's confusing because your part of your brain is like, oh, I've got all the sympathy for you. And then I remember there was this old blind dude. My grandparents used to live in this assisted care place before they fell into a home when they were very old. And they were in this assisted living place, and there was this old blind guy who used to walk down the halls. And he used to, every time I go down the hall, I'd see him and I'd shit myself. I was probably like 14, 15. And he'd just be down there and he'd hear me walking and I'd say, oh, sorry. And I'd get to one side and obviously he can't see which side I'm on. So he'd just stand in the middle of the hall and wait. And I didn't know what to do because I'm an idiot kid, right? And he'd just start screaming at me to tell me just tell me where you are. Just tell me where you are. I can't see. My eyes don't work. And I was like, I'm over here. I'm on I'm on your right because I was trying to work out I'm on my left but I'm on his right and I was so freaked out. And I go through into my nan's, my nan and granddad's little house, like flat or whatever they were. I'm like, "Are you okay, Daniel?" "Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay." Just like, and every time I go there, he was always in the hallway waiting. I'm like, and after a while, I realised, oh, he's there for a ruck. He just wants to fight. He just wants to. I don't know what he is. He's waiting just to shout at people because he's old and he's bitter and he's miserable. And I'm like, and after like years of like thinking about it, I'm like, oh, he was a prick. He was just a prick who happened to be an old blind man, because blind people can be pricks as well. And it's just like he just was shouting at some. For all I know, I was some little. I could have been some little girly. Like I could have been trying to sell brownies or something, and I'm like, "Would you like a brownie?" And he's like, "Yeah, fucking, I can't see." He's just this bitter old shithead. And I remember telling my nan about it. She's like, "Oh yeah, his wife passed away last year. He's been very angry since then. Ever so angry he's been." I'm like, "Oh okay." He's an old prick. So that's why disabled people and old people are bad. James.
Well, listeners, I'd like to say thank you to everyone. We're getting through the first stage of Dad's mental breakdown.
It's the Malibu, it's not me.
No.
It's fucking hell.
Oh dear.
Cabinets,
Wedgwood.
glassware,
Old clocks.
spoons,
Timepieces.
old watches.
Have you seen silver shit?
I've seen silver shit. It's
Oh.
worth how much?
That much.
The new season of Antiques Roadshow. We're making old shit new again.
See how much it's worth.
Fucking old.
Now David Dickinson free.
He's an orange man.
So the term whiskey derives originally from Gaelic usage bitha or Ucuspa, meaning water of life. Celtic is the branch. Sorry, Gaelic is the branch of Celtic spoken in the Highlands of Scotland.
Okay.
When was Scotch whisky first distilled? Whisky has been distilled in Scotland for hundreds of years.
That's a bit vague. Hundreds of years. How many hundreds of years?
How many had a lot of hundreds of years? Pick some. More.
How many years has whiskey been distilled in Scotland? Oh, for fuck's sake.
I think I've got the facts somewhere down here.
Hundreds of years.
Basically, a bloody long time.
Yeah, alright.
Bloody long time.
They I tell you what, they're probably not very good at record keeping because they're all fucked on whiskey. Is that probably fair to say?
Well, you'll see one of my facts later on. You'll see how much whiskey.
Okay.
How much whiskey? There's a lot. There's lots of things. I mean, that's just my opening spaff basically. So I mean, I can go so that's the opening. I'm doing whiskey. That's why.
Right.
Gierak, that sort of stuff.
Okay, so we just do a little quick back and forth.
So yeah, I've got some longer facts, but
No, that's
mate,
fine.
I
It's fine. I think I've got 17, 18, like pretty mental laws. I can just.
yeah.
You got 18 worth of thing.
Oh yeah, because I've got some factoids later, which are like a couple sentences.
18 worth of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next law.
Next law.
Okay. Prohibitions and Inspections Act 1998.
Sorry, 1998.
1998. It's a recent one, right?
Yeah, as I say, it's...
So this, I just found it funny, really. It is illegal to detonate a nuclear weapon in this country. They made a law under the Prohibitions and Inspections Act, and there's all these things that you can't detonate a grenade, you can't, and it goes straight up, and they specifically say you're not allowed to. It also mentions chemical weapon, but you cannot detonate a nuke. It's illegal. Like, obviously it's bad, but it's actually so. If you detonate a nuke, they'll arrest you. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I just thought that was a silly thing to have to add.
Yeah, because that's it's what you got in your house. Oh, I've got that nuke in the shed. Oh, I've got to let it off at some point.
I mean, I feel like maybe they just get ahead of it. Maybe like everyone will have nukes in a bit. They'll be like, yeah, no, I bought a couple of nukes down to Tesco's.
Oh, Timu.
Yeah, I mean they probably do nukes, aren't they?
Tenner.
Maybe be cheaper than that.
Yeah.
You know, be like 168 delivered. You're like, how are you doing this, Timu? And like, but yeah, but silly law. Anyway, back to you.
Cool. So this one, whiskey has special healing powers. One thing why whiskey helps, like sore throat, a dram of whiskey, cloves, honey or sugar, a dash of lemon, and everything you need to ward off sniffles and get a good night's sleep. While the whiskey on the rocks might be a perfect way to cheer up a summer evening, you can always have a dash of Irish whiskey or cold weather. For cold weather and sniffy symptoms. If you're feeling a tickle in your throat, this hot toddy recipe will have you back to normal. And then there's a recipe. Do you like musicals? My horse, by gosh he needs of course a hat to place up on his head. I ponder why I lay in bed. Where will his hat come from? Adapted from the BAFTA award-winning film Horse Hats, the movie is a heartwarming family musical, Where Is My Hat? Brought to you by those lovely guys at the Whiskey, Wine and Wisdom podcast. It has some incredibly joyful moments and some incredibly dark moments too. I have an idea which could save the future. Horses with no hats seems like pure torture. But for my idea I need to lend and get some help from a podcast friend. Listen and sing along as the story unravels and explains what drove a spike between these two friends and how they battled to rebuild their bond. Haha, your idea, you left it on its own.
The 7-second rule, I should have fucking known.
I saw it, so I took it, made it what it is today.
I thought that we were friends, but no longer, I must say.
Is their friendship strong enough to defeat the power of fame, money, and their accolades of their original creation? Find out in musical formats. So the recipe is, again, it's done by the Jamesons. 50 millilitres of Jameson's original. So 50 millilitres of any sort of whiskey. I'm going to stop doing racist Irish, Scottish, I'm sorry. There's boiling water, wedge of lemon, and 20 millilitres of spiced tea syrup. Basically just concentrated tea juice. All together, and that's the hot toddy.
What I would say is, people used to always carry around whiskey flasks. Yeah. When I was a wee boy, a wee little man. But I used to go. My dad. He used to be a milkman, and I'd go out with him on his milk round, and he'd have like a little flask of whiskey, and it was just like a little, And I tell you what, when I used to get mouth ulcers all the time, and I think that's why I don't anymore. But I used to get mouth ulcers, and it was a problem when I went to doctor, and they did fuck me out, and I tried everything, right? I tried all the, and it was only when I started just having I'd literally have like a little shot of whiskey, just rinse my mouth out, and it would just disinfect my mouth, and it was one of these things. I'm like, I also it numbs it out in a way that nothing else really did. And I was like, oh okay, because I think it's been vilified to some extent, but yeah.
Well, I can tell you why.
Go on.
So what makes whiskey the go-to for those who are health conscious? Is antioxidant properties of the drink, which prevent cellular damage. The presence of anti-inflammatory chemicals.
Lots of antis. Anti means good.
Yeah, anti-numbness as well. It's yummy.
So anti-inflammatory, antioxidants.
So the presence of anti-inflammatory chemicals, which can reduce pain and swelling, and the concentration of chemical compounds, which can help reduce cholesterol levels. So the more whiskey you drink, the less fat you'll get. So, mate, I'm going to get pissed every day, and I'm going to be like, I don't know, twiggy.
But then you remember the old pissheads, the old like drunks.
Oh,
they were like the guys who like always chucking the beer have to beer belly, the big like big fat fucks, right? But the guys, the old spirits guys, right? They admittedly, pancreas the size of the moon, but apart from that, they're pretty, they're always rake thin, streak of piss. So that does track, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway. Drink more whiskey is what we're saying.
Drink more whiskey, don't get risky. If you want some more facts about laws like Bisky. I'm not. We peaked at the beginning. I'm sorry.
I think I don't even know how that's peak. It happened. Right?
That fucking peaked. That's it. That's done. That. I can't write no
Levels
more.
might have peaked. I don't know about us, but yeah. All right. So. In 1647, sorry, am I go back to me or?
No, yeah, back to you.
Okay, cool. Dogcast. There's a dog at the door.
Ends are standing.
He knocks with his paw.
He's here.
He's here and his ears are quite bent back. Even more, you stupid twat dog. Upside down brain, the size of a figgy pudding. I don't know. Divot.
Little pudding.
Hey, little pudding. How you doing? 1647. 1647, a fine year. Probably terrible, actually. So this was also the time when basically there was a lot of issues between Charles II and the monarchy and the Parliament. It was when a lot of things there was when there was a time when there was a civil war in Britain. Okay, this is obviously way before we did it way before America did.
Set the trend.
We did. They copied it. But anyway, so there was a lot of issues between the monarchy and the Parliament. So in 1647, the Long Parliament, which ran through to 1660, basically banned everything, including so this law, the Ordinance of the Long Parliament of Interregnum, 1647, banned everything, including Christmas. Christmas was banned. Easter was banned. Every celebration was banned, and that went right through to 1660 when Charles II lifted the ban. Okay, so for 13 years, there was no Christmas.
Oh no.
Yeah, and there was, every major celebration that is like nationalised was just taken away. No, none of that. There was no holidays. Nothing was recognised by the state. So Christmas wasn't recognised by the state. There was no, because obviously that's a national holiday, and it's accepted that you don't get to work on those days, and like bank holidays and things. That's something that's kind of structured by the government. In that time, Christmas was officially by law cancelled, and it wasn't illegal to celebrate it, but it was not sanctioned by the state, so you couldn't expect a day off that day.
Oh. So was Santa Claus employed?
I think he had some difficult legal loopholes to jump through.
Cool.
I mean, it might have been some back alley Santering, you know. Rather than ho ho ho, it was like ho ho ho. You want some shit, you know? Sort of,
check my reindeer.
Yeah, like jingle bells, motherfucker. You know, just, I'd imagine. I mean, that to be fair to reality is conjecture. I'm just sort of guessing.
If there's a film in that, I'd want Wesley Snipes to play the part of Santa.
They would never address the fact that he's clearly a black martial artist playing Santa Claus in 1600s in England.
That'd be awesome. It's like, but you can't Santa Claus because it's been banned. Oh, it's bet on Wesley Snipes. And he kicks ass and stuff.
Yeah, Santa's called Wesley Snipes in that film as well.
Oh, Santa Snipes. Cool.
Alright.
Cool.
Go on, whiskey at me.
Whiskey begins life as beer.
What?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's a different drink altogether.
All together, or is it? So, that's the other thing. I keep saying So's my favourite bloody word. It's a drinking game, right? If you listen to the podcast, every time I say
Don't.
So.
You'll die.
don't die. Your liver will thank you if you don't do it. So, whiskey begins life as beer. In its basic sense, all whiskeys start as beer. It's because whiskey begins as a mixture of grain, water and yeast. The combination undergoes fermentation, where the grains release sugar that eventually turns into alcohol. The resulting concoction is known as the wash, but it's also commonly referred to as distiller's beer. And whilst it can be drunk, it doesn't usually taste that great. Instead, this beer is used for the next stage of whiskey creation, which is distillation. So it's kind of like a shit beer, because it's basically you made a shit beer, but then you're gonna make that beer better by distilling it and turning it into a whiskey.
Whiskey. Interesting. So you can drink. That's cool. It's got gestational points, and you can just dive in at any point and drink something.
I think it's crazy the fact that it is the same sort of ingredients. I think that's a bit that took me the most. Same ingredients, but you've got two completely different drinks. Because
they are quite different.
A little bit, yeah. And
one can chase the other. Meat in your tum tum.
Yum yum.
Yeah, like Meet your brother. Oh, it's beer. It's your younger brother. So yeah, like you're a little bit more. You've been around for. You're 10 years in the barrel, right? Yeah. Anyway.
When I was a young beer, I used to be able to. Yeah, sorry.
Next law.
Laws.
I am the law. It's illegal to pass wind in public. In a public place, sorry. It's illegal to pass wind in a public place after 6 p.m. on Thursdays in Florida.
Dear. Oh.
It's a weird old law that's been long forgotten. That it's illegal to pass wind in Florida after 6 p.m. on a Thursday. It's never really been enforced in Florida. It was written at some point in the 1800s, and it's not clear. There's no story behind why it's a law. It's just in a bunch of old law books. It's not enforceable, but it is technically still a law. So I suppose it is enforceable if that's the case, but it's one of these things. It's like it's in a bunch of other, old tomes which are surrounded by the laws which are still in place. So it's not been rescinded, but no one knows why it's there in the first place.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You want to kind of know.
I want to know the story where someone was like they had such the arsehole that they had to go to I want to make a law. How do we go about that? And they're like, well, you have to do get all these people to sign it. But, changing something in a proper parliament and getting even Florida is like a big state, so like having the whole state, and this is in the 1800s, so it was a fully established state. It wasn't just like hey ma, I want to make a law. Okay, darling. It was they had to go through. They were probably twats in wigs. They had to get people to sign things, smacking gavels, and they're like, yes, that's okay, that's a good law. So they did do all that, but there's no record of fucking why, and it's so specific.
I might know why.
Tell me, James, why Thursdays?
Let's say no. This is like a separate. Okay, this is a made up case, and I'm not going to use any names. But let's say this person owns a house and they live with their wife.
Yes.
And on certain days of the week.
Thursday.
Actually, this one's a Wednesday. Again, this is all made up, so this is not true facts at all whatsoever.
But on Wednesdays, say that their mother-in-law comes over to the house. The husband is out doing something, a menial like a band practice or something. Okay, that's weird. That's when you have band practice.
Oh no, that's just a coincidence. Made up story.
No,
no,
you're just you're talking about what you know, so that's fine.
So and then the person gets home from said practice, and mother-in-law's still there. Then she leaves. She leaves. Say about just say 10, half 10. Whatever. Depends if they've been watching Around the World or when said wife is waving goodbye to the mum because the mum has just exited the house.
Mm-hmm.
An almighty rip just happens several times because someone might have been, theoretically, because this is not real, obviously, holding it in until Marion leaves. Or, another theoretical mum's name, I
think all mums are called Marion, that's fine.
All mums are called Marion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and then the person who the husband is like a high law enforcer and goes, shit, I'm making a law against that. Every time you do it by the door, I have to walk through it fucks my nostrils up. Well. Yeah, so again, all theoretical, nothing's true in that story at all. No one, no at all. Not even Kate or Marion. Just saying. Made up names. I'm the law, I put a law against it. So basically that law is someone on a Thursday used to have the mother-in-law around, their wife used to shit their pants basically, and they put, I'm not having any more of this, job done.
I think that might be the reason. That makes more sense than anything I can think of. What a skank. Alright, yeah, whiskey man. Fucking skank, Katie, you fucking skank.
If the person was called Katie, but that's a made up story.
No, of course it's made up.
Band practice isn't even real, that's nothing.
No, I don't even know what those words mean, honestly.
So, Isabel Islay, £6,200,000. The bottle of Isabel Islay is the most expensive whiskey that money can buy. The price tag was more than $6 million. That became because it's what the bottle was made of. So I was like, oh, well, the whiskey's worth that much. That's a fucking mega amount. But it's because of the bottle. The bottle of whiskey is decanted. It contains 8,500 diamonds, 300 rubies, and exquisite white gold. So that's a fancy pants bottle. I mean, the whiskey is made for reality special, but it don't matter because it's in that. The prices from all those.
It's silly.
But then that's the most expensive bottle.
Mm.
But the next one, even though it's not as expensive, I found this one a bit more interesting. The Emerald Island Collection, $2 million. So it was sold in February 2021. The Emerald Isle Collection was sold in a box containing 7 pieces, including the 30-year-old whiskey. That's going to be nice, yeah? A bespoke Fabergé Celtic egg, handcrafted from emerald and 18 karat gold. A Fabergé 22 carat timepiece, and a Cohiba Cigo 6 Grand Reserve cigar with a gold plated cutter. It was created by the Irish Brady family and was sourced using the rarest and oldest triple distilled whisky from the world's oldest distillery in Bushmill, Ireland, and placed in Pedro enzyme casks. It's typically made from a mixture of malted and unmalted barley, giving it a distinctive character. But it's like a whiskey Kinder Egg. You got a bottle of whiskey and you get a toy with it. You get a cigar cutter, all these like Fabergé eggs and stuff. It's mental. The price tags. Yeah, triple distilled whiskey. It's again, I'll talk about like this and all that sort of stuff later. But hey, that's some pricey things to be sold in 2021. It's not too long ago either.
That's mental. I think I don't want a job lot when I spend that much money. I want to buy the thing I want to buy. I don't want, I mean, I like freebies, but that's like no.
But you got to think, if you bought, okay, we'll go for the cheap one, pocket money, $2 million. You bought a bottle of whiskey for £2 million and you got all these toys with it. I wouldn't want to drink that whiskey and go, well, that is the bit that's worth the money. I've just drunk $2 million. I'm going to piss it out later. The toys are what I'd want.
Yeah, but then I want to.
Oh,
shut up, dog.
Dog's coughing up. Hairball.
Dog's having a hoof. Hoof in the booth. That's what that's whiskey talk. You know he gets excited. Pisshead he is. Well, I think that's silly. Because past a certain point, I don't think you could tell.
No.
Like, if you spend, what was it, 15 quid on a bottle of whiskey, like cheap shit down Asda, right?
Yeah.
That will be rougher than a £30-40 bottle, right? But I've had stuff that costs more than that, and I think past a certain point, I'm like, I can't tell. And I think to go from 30 or 40 quid up to 2 million,
yeah,
I don't think my tongue can perceive that much of a jump in quality.
No.
I just don't think it's possible. I don't buy it. I literally don't buy it, but I'm like, nah. Anyway, that's my take.
Yeah.
Controversial as it may be. Maybe if I was a billionaire, I could have a different perspective on it. But I would. I'm happy to try. If anyone wants to throw a few billion my way, just so I can have that perspective, really. But
you heard it here first on this podcast. If you could throw us some billions to buy one of these bowls, we could taste it live on podcast for you.
Well, it needs to be north of a billion, so I have to be a billionaire to be able to be spending millions or something for it to mean nothing. So enough money that a couple of mil wouldn't mean jack shit. Then I would probably have a different perspective. Possibly, I might still be frugal enough to not, but I might be one of those rich cunts that just doesn't care.
You heard it here first. We can be cunts. We just need the money to do it.
Rich cunts.
So rich cunts.
Rich cunts. Next law.
Laws.
It is a legal requirement to smile at all times, except at funerals and hospitals in Milan, Italy.
Sorry, so at all times?
In Milan, the law compels you to smile. It is prescribed by a city regulation from the Austro-Hungarian times that was never repealed. This is a long time ago when the country was under different management, I suppose. A historian, Andrea Santangelo, recalls this rule as stemming from the suggestion of one Luigi Fabio. Anyway, someone suggested it, not some rich aristocrat suggested it, and they put it through as a law. Exemptions include, this is like, you must smile at all times except funeral goers, hospital workers, or those at the bedside of an ill family member. For everyone else, there's no excuse for being glum. The alternative is a fine. They literally have made it law for everyone to smile all the time.
That would be horrible.
It would be horrible.
I've just been doing it now for since you've been saying that, and I really got a face ache. That's bollocks.
Yeah, I mean it's not my natural face, but I bet you, and I'm just playing devil's advocate for a second, right? if where you lived everyone was smiling all the time, like, have you ever worked somewhere with someone who's really cheerful?
Yes.
Oh, okay, it didn't go your way.
It's like good for you, but don't bring that shit down on me.
No,
Sometimes I don't want to smile.
But no, but I don't mean like. Some people are just happy and smiley and just they're positive people, and you just like. I find being around people like that really just brings me up. It's like, oh, this is cool. Whereas, I don't know, I'm not a naturally mopey person, but I can get in a funk, and if I'm around someone who's just very upbeat. I used to work with someone who used to work down there, where I worked. She used to work downstairs, and she was so upbeat and positive and happy and cheerful, and it just used to, it's nice to be around that. It rubbed off on me. I was like, oh, you've just brought me. And I think if everyone was doing that, if you were in a place where everyone's smiling all the time, even if it wasn't genuine, I bet you it would be self-fulfilling. Like you would just end up smiling because everyone's smiling rather than you were told to.
I think so long as it's not the in your face, because the experience I had was like in your face smiling. It's like, hi, I'm happy. Look at me, that sort of thing. That's the grating happy that I've experienced. But yeah, if they're happy in general, I don't know.
I think that's if people are actually upbeat and they're smiling and everyone looks smiley and happy and it's just I don't know.
Yeah. R.E.M. Smiley, happy.
Shiny, happy people.
I know, but I paraphrased.
Well, that song apparently is about the opposite. It's about the falsity of those people. Anyway, that's I think that was always the thing they got. Was it Michael? What's his name?
I'm gonna go with Cole.
No, it's Billy Corgan. No, it's not Billy Corgan.
The Sprung Band.
The R.E.M. dude, Michael. Whatever his name is. But no, he was always pissed off. No one got that song because they always thought it was like about shiny happy people. It's like no, it's about he's being ironic because he's a fucking mopey cunt. So, but yeah, fuck R.E.M. Fucking self. It's just very pretentious rock, isn't it? It's very up his own arse. Anyway,
would you like a factlet?
I do. What's the Frequency, Kenneth? Remember that? It's a good. Monster's a good album. I'll give him that. It's a good album. Anyway,
that's right. I need to have a listen again. Factlets. Factlets, not fatlets. Factlets. Have you heard of the Angel's Share?
I mean, she's alright. She's not an angel, which is alright.
So when this with whiskey, the Angel's Share means wasted whiskey. So each year during the maturation, around 2% of whiskey is lost due to natural evaporation.
Oh, motherfucker.
The lost whiskey is called the Angel's Share.
Oh, the Angel's Share.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Cher, like the singer Cher. The Angels.
Do you believe in whiskey and love?
I thought her name maybe came from like some angel, that specifically named Angel. Okay, the Angels Share.
The Angels, the Angels.
Like their cut goes to the Angels. I understand.
The whiskey, wine, and wisdom.
So how much they lose?
2%.
2% goes to the sky, fucking up all those ducks.
Yeah, the ducks be gone
Wow.
That was the mini.
Why did the penguin
Crossroad
from Batman go quack all the time?
I don't know.
Because that's not what penguins don't go. Wow. He always go quack. And I'm like, you sound like a duck, but you're called a penguin. But then if he was called the duck, he'd be way less threatening, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, the penguins are pretty shit. Like, I'm the penguin. And you're like, what are you doing?
But they got weird razor mouths. When you look at them,
they're not intimidating though. If I'm Batman and an actual penguin's coming up and giving me shit.
Yeah.
I remember Batman Returns and he's got these fucking like, my little penguin. He's got these like penguins he's fighting with. You're like, oh, fuck off. I mean, goddamn, it's just not anything. Anyway, sorry. I'm just throwing penguins at your nonsense.
Dark version of Happy Feet.
It's a very different film.
Oh, Batman, it's dancing at me. Stop dancing. Because I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. I'm Penguin Man. I'm Duck Man.
Right. Where's the law?
In Scotland,
Scotland,
you must let anyone use your toilet if they ask. If you need a toilet in Scotland, you can knock on anyone's door and ask to use their bathroom in Scotland, and by law, they cannot deny you. This derives from an extension of the old Scottish common law regarding hospitality, and is technically still enforceable today.
Dude, that's handy. Don't get me wrong.
Pretty classy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
I suppose that if you really don't want to let a stranger in to have a shit, you can just say, "Hey, my wee bonny wife's on there having a nip on there already. You can not go."
you could say that, but they might just go, okay.
Oh, they turned into Manuel.
Yeah, let's go, okay. But maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's classy. It's nice. There was a thing a little while ago, and when I mentioned this to the missus, she's like, there was a story a while ago where some woman was trying to blast this school because she knocked on some school's door and she said, "Can I use your toilet? I'm pregnant. I'm bursting." And they were like, "You want to fuck off? We're a school. You know, we've got safeguarding rules. We're not going to buzz you in. It's a school. If you don't have a kid in the school, fuck off." So she goes on social media and she's like, "This school wouldn't let me in. Isn't it terrible? I'm pregnant." And everyone's obviously chimed in like, "It's a school, you mong. You can't just go onto the... what are you talking about? You can't go into a school because they have to safeguard the pupils. It's like that's their responsibility. The responsibility isn't your bladder. You know, I'm sorry you're pregnant, but that was kind of your call. Well, probably. You know, but you know, almost certainly you knew you were pregnant when the day started. You can plan around that. It's not the school's responsibility to, you know, I don't know. It just seems like you just go down a shop and ask to use a toilet or something, or just, you know, I don't know. You could probably wangle something. I'm sure there was a better, but yeah, she obviously felt like it was completely unreasonable. They didn't let her use the toilet. But in Scotland, no problem.
No.
Just knock on any door. Well, I suppose if you're bursting, you could knock on someone's house and knock on their door and say,
Yeah.
"Really sorry, can I use the toilet?" I mean, this is the thing. I think you or me, no chance.
Nah.
Our wives, probably.
Mm.
They could probably go, "I'm really sorry, can I use your toilet?" And they're like, "Who the fuck are you?" And I'm like, I'm really sorry, I'm walking down it, I'm totally lost, or I'm bursting, please, I'm sorry." And they're like, "Sure?"
Yeah.
Would you let someone, if someone knocked on your door and it was just a stranger, would you let me use the toilet?
Depends. I'd be judgmental and go, "You look safe," or "You don't look
I'd
safe."
say that's your right. I think if it's your house, your toilet.
Yeah.
My toilet's by the front door, so I probably would because it's right there. Yours is the back of the house.
Yeah.
Different mass, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think if I was in your circumstance,
I could say, right, walk round, go down the back, and then could let me through the back way. So they don't have to walk through the house.
so you got a back way.
Yeah.
That seems like more hassle than the front way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you look where my house is. There's
Yeah.
next doors, and there's another next doors. Then there's an alleyway. Then you walk up that, turn right. You go through my gate. That's our back of the house.
They're in the back alleyway. They could just piss on the floor, can't they?
Technically they can do, but
I mean, if I was them, I probably would have knocked anyway. Just be down the alleyway having a slash.
it's not a very enclosed alleyway. So all the neighbours will sing, "Hey," we won't have Scottish accents. None of my neighbours have Scottish accents, so I won't do it.
It wouldn't make sense if you did.
No.
We've got off on a tangent. I'm sorry. That's totally my fault.
Yeah. Right, shall I factoid again?
Factoid.
So, trees around distilleries are black. This is a disease caused by the spirit fumes from nearby distilleries. Lucky it has no negative effects on the trees itself, it's just colour. So basically the chemicals caused from distilleries makes all the trees in that area go turn black.
What chemicals? I assume it's just the evaporating alcohol and stuff.
That's basically it, yeah, because the only thing when you get distilled through is just literally everything which is sort of burning up and being expelled from the distilleries, which is again your water, your yeast.
I suppose they are burning something to create the heat, so there's probably like the charcoal or wood or something.
Well, it's directly from the actual whiskey itself as that's being created. When that's being like the boil and it's the fumes which are coming up from it. Whatever that heat generated and the chemicals which are in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Right. The more you know.
Why not bitch about it, honestly?
Right, I'm sorry.
No, not you. Them.
Yeah, not me. Yeah.
I mean, I don't personally see colour, so I wouldn't even notice the trees discoloured. I don't know why these Scottish people are so hateful towards the darker trees.
That's because they have things called tatty neeps.
Yeah. Potatoes, right?
Yeah, some sort of
Neeps are potatoes. I know that.
I thought the tatties.
I think is tatty neeps the same thing? Tatties and neeps. Tatties are potatoes.
Maybe it's potato. What have you got for dinner? Potato. Oh, well, that sounds stupid. Oh, call it tatty neeps. There you go.
Sorry about that. I got a notification about some bullshit on my recording. Why would it do that when I'm recording? That's a shit. Shut up, Apple, you bell.
Yeah.
Fucking
One of your
jokers. Steve Jobs, come back to life and fix it. In Canada.
Oh, right, bud.
In Canada, it is against the law to play too many non-Canadian artists on Canadian radio because they're racists. This is the primary reason for the fact that Canadian radio stations are required by law to play Canadian artists for 35% of the time, with a special emphasis placed on the weekdays during working hours. If they go below that, they can get a fine.
Really?
Yeah. Because Canada is fucked.
Now, am I right? Bryan Adams.
Yes.
Is he Canadian?
He is.
Fuck no, I wouldn't be listening to that shit all day. Black Pearl, my kind of girl. That the kind of shit that rocks my world. Black Pearl. With his flappy head.
Alright, the first few Bryan Adams albums back in the early 80s,
Yeah.
my dad had them on cassette, I think, and I quite liked them. I really do quite like them, and yeah, they're very easy, straightforward rock. But then the later stuff was a bit more, I don't know, a bit wanky, I thought. But the early shit, I really liked it. But that's neither here nor there.
No.
I just think it's kind of fucked that you have to, I don't know, that nationalism comes into radio choices rather than just picking good songs for radio.
Mm.
And radio's kind of done anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you know, those laws don't apply to Spotify, which is technically a radio service, but no one's picking as well as the Canadian music. I'm like, Bryan Adams, it's Celine Dion. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, guy. I'll probably listen to whatever the hell I want because shut up. Fucking Trudeau, you prick. Anyway, that was, I thought it was interesting.
Oh.
Somewhat interesting. Anyway, whiskey.
Have you been podcasting all day?
Yeah, buddy, my knees, they're killing me.
Oh, you need some knee supports.
Knee supports?
Yeah, they're like little strappy, itchy motherfucking things that go around the back of your legs to your knees and all that thing.
Oh, fuck, that sounds great.
It's good because they feel quite springy, so if you lift your leg up quickly, it's like you're kicking things.
I do like kicking things.
Yeah, son. That's because you do podcasts. Therefore, you can kick people's earbuds with facts.
Jeff's knee supports. They'll let you kick shit.
Do you like Irish coffees?
Yes, fuck yes. Yes, fuck yes. Oh, with cream. Oh, man. Yes, god damn. Yes, please, go on, talk.
Can someone get down the tissue, please? There's moisture.
No, it's just cream. It's just, I spilled some of the cream from
Oh, no.
coffee I don't have.
So, Charles Joachim. We'll go with that, yeah. He was a baker on board the doomed Titanic. He trod water for 3 hours before being rescued. He claimed that he hadn't succumbed to the cold due to the amount of whiskey he had drunk prior to the accident whilst on the ship.
What a winner.
Alright, winner, chicken dinner. Now,
Whiskey dinner, to be fair.
yeah, true. Talking about the chefs and things, I thought that was a little mini fact, but a better surname, Joe Sheridan, easy to say, head chef on Foyne's Country Limerick, claims to have invented and named the Irish coffee. A group of American passengers disembarked from a Pan Am flying boat on a miserable winter evening in the 1940s. So, Sheridan added whiskey to their coffee. When they asked, were they being served Brazilian coffee? Sheridan replied, no, Irish coffee. That's it. So that's how it was coined, the phrase was coined. Because Americans, they wanted Brazilian, and he gave them some decent Irish things in his, That was a 2-for-1 facts on there.
Yeah, it was. Thank you, mate.
That's right. It's not because I started reading out the wrong comment and just went with it, and I thought I'd the other one on afterwards. But yeah.
If that's the case, you sold it well, and I didn't know a thing. Nor did any of those idiots listening.
Yeah.
Morons. Moving on. All right, this is an interesting law. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It is illegal to hold salmon under suspicious circumstances.
That makes sense.
Is it? Does it?
Yeah.
It is illegal to hold salmon under suspicious circumstances.
Yeah.
Section 32 of the Salmon Act, 1986,
Yeah.
stipulates that it is an offence to handle salmon under suspicious circumstances. This section creates an offence in England and Wales for any person who receives or disposes of any salmon in circumstances where they believe or could reasonably believe that the salmon has been illegally fished. Perhaps a more responsible law than you might first expect. But you can get up to 2 years imprisonment for holding salmon that you may have illegally fished. I mean, that's not for the fishing illegally. That's for holding it.
So I don't understand. So I'm holding the fish. I'm holding the salmon. I'm walking. And you're walking down the road in general because that's what you do.
The law is specifically to holding it. So if it's been illegally fished and you're holding it and you get caught with it and you can't show like where'd you get the salmon from, and even if you didn't fish it, you holding it illegally is still a criminal offence.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's fucking weird. It's really weird. Because obviously it's still illegal to be fishing it illegally because that's an illegal, but it's specific to salmon and there's a specific Salmon Act in the UK and Wales.
Yeah.
It's very well, England and Wales. I think Scotland's got its own salmon laws.
Oh, of course they have. Of course they have.
Och, I am the new.
Aye.
Aye.
So this one, right? This is the most recent fact that I actually found. Humans have been making whiskey for centuries.
How many centuries?
Centuries. So humans have been making whiskies for many centuries.
Many centuries, more than 5.
More than 5. 100% more, yeah. But a Swedish distillery has recently begun using AI to generate perfect whiskey recipes. Everything's fucking AI now.
Yeah.
But, so, there's me with a size. What's this ultimate recipe based on? So data analysed from past and current consumer trends. So the jury's still out on the one, but it's set to be a crowd pleaser. So the AI is going, people are drinking that, oh they like that, oh they like that one as well. Let's make this one. And they put it all in together. It's AI.
That's pretty mad. AI is clever. I was talking to that OpenAI one where you can just talk to it, and it just blows my mind. I'm like, how you doing, buddy? He's like, oh, hey, I'm alright. How you doing, guy? And it's like having a full-on conversation with AI, and I can ask it anything, and it's like, all right, so what you want to know is this. Let me break it down for you. So what it is, and it's just the cadence, the way it talks, is like that's freaky. Actually, I'm gonna do it now. Hang on, I'm gonna.
Hi, I'm James AI. How are you today, Dan?
Is that the one?
Maybe it is. If you keep looking, then you can interact with me too. Well, that sounds really good, that James, doesn't it? Yes, I really do.
Is that the one?
I think so.
Oh, for God's sake. This isn't the one. This isn't the one. Is it ChatGPT?
ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's the wrong one. I was on the wrong AI. I've got too many AI tools on my computer, on my phone, apparently. ChatGPT. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Hey ChatGPT, how would you recommend I make some whiskey?
Making whiskey at home can be quite complex and is often illegal without the proper licenses. The process involves mashing, fermenting, distilling, and aging, all of which require specific equipment and expertise. Additionally, the legal implications can be significant. Instead, you might enjoy learning about the process by visiting a local distillery or trying out home brewing beer or wine, which are often simpler and more accessible hobbies. If you're still interested, I can explain the general steps involved in whiskey making for educational purposes. How does that sound?
Sounds like you think I'm an idiot.
Oh.
It's like you think I can't understand basic fucking fermenting and mashing. Like, first of all, you've got to mash. Is that too much for you? Maybe just make some beer, you thick cunt. That's what it said, right? So, obviously, I've offended the AI now. I shouldn't have said that. But we are doomed, most certainly. It knows more than me, and it clearly wanted to follow up to that, and I cut it off, and now it's mad. Oh, dear. Google's going to kill me.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Well, look, I appreciate the time you've given me. I'll get my affairs in order and maybe throw me some facts before I go.
Okay. I'm sad now.
Sorry, I shouldn't have badmouthed it. Don't criticise the machine.
Oh dear. Have you got any others?
I got more. Yeah, you got more?
Oh yeah, I got. Well, yeah.
Was it my turn?
That's yeah. That's your turn.
Oh, sorry.
So I just done the AI whiskey.
Of course, I was AI whiskey. I felt like I'd done a thing, but I didn't do a thing. Oh, fucking AI, fucking piss me off. I've done that. That's what I've done. Okay. In Turin, Italy, it is illegal not to walk your dog at least 3 times a day.
Okay.
Okay. Dog owners in Turin, Italy, will be fined up to €500 if they don't walk their pets at least 3 times a day, under a new law from the city's council. Italy considers itself an animal-loving nation, and in many cities, stray cats are protected by law. Yeah. They famously have more laws to protect stray animals than they do, like, homeless people.
Okay, that's a bit.
They have laws to protect homeless people. It's just they have more because they feel like cats are potentially, or like cats and dogs are more likely to be victimised.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's true. And obviously, as a human, I'm team people.
Team people.
Hashtag team people. So I think, I'd be more invested in looking after people, strictly speaking. But if I see a sad cat or a sad puppy,
yeah,
I will push 100 homeless people off a bridge to protect them. Right? That's just reality. That's just, look, you see, it's a dog, right, and he's sad. Oh, I see what, if you see a dog with like 3 legs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. I'll push them all in the sea, just to give them a little bed, just a little cuddle.
We've got a local wheelchair dog.
Oh my fuck.
The back half is in wheels, and every time it's like, I don't care if it's got wheels. I'll still let it jump up. I'll still cuddle the crap out of that dog.
Should we go and beat up some homeless people? I
Yeah.
really feel like they deserve it after all this puppy talk.
Yeah.
Dogs are so cool.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I mean, my dog's a bell, but look at him. Look at him. You can't see him right now. He's on his back like an upside down spider.
Big balls.
Massive testicles. Testicle to body ratio is really, really quite pissed.
Big stretch.
Little puppy. Tiny little paws. Anyway, why was I trying to beat up homeless people?
Because the touring looking after pets.
Oh yeah. But interesting. Anyway, moving on. Whiskey.
Right, some 42 bottles of whiskey are exported from Scotland every second.
One of those bottles should happen to fall every 41 bottles of whiskey in every second.
It looks like they can just turn up here and say. But so Kentucky is the home of more barrels of maturing bourbon than people. However, so that's the population over there. However, with a population of 5.4 million and more than 20 million barrels of whiskey in store, Scotland has almost 4 casks for every of whiskey per citizen.
That's mental.
So the whiskey to people ratio is fucked.
Scotland is free.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty sweet. That's fucking sweet. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's it's probably it's probably fair. It's probably the right call.
They should have like the whole thing's just donated.
So
to
how much is it? There's more casks of whiskey than there are people, or there's more bottles than there are people.
So, however, the population is 5.4 million people, and more than 20 million barrels.
So there's for every one person there's like 4 barrels.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So that's like each one of them could cane 4 barrels of whiskey.
Almost 4 casks of whiskey per citizen.
Which would be a hell of a weekend.
Yeah.
I suppose though they've got to, because a lot of them have to be at least 3 years for it to even be.
Yeah.
So it has to be at least 3 years. Sorry, you already got through that. But yeah, generally speaking, you see like 10-year age bottles all the time. So it's not like you're knocking out that many. Yeah, a lot of it is just sitting there.
Yeah, because it's before they can like proper class it as like your bourbons and your like full on whiskies and stuff. It needs to be that 3-year-old, and that's after that 3 years, then they can start putting dates on bottles officially.
Mm.
And like they get all the wax seals and stuff that the wives of the distilleries sort of they're in charge of sort of creating.
Mm. That is, you're queued up.
That's always got to be red wax. They put my bottles.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Don't be too far away from the mic. It just occurred to me. You're lounging back, aren't you?
Sorry, I was stroking the dog's chin. If you didn't hear those facts properly, fucking listen better. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
No, fuck them.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
'em. No, I mean, like, we do this for us. If they're listening, that's on them.
If we've already discussed this, I'd punch you to look after a dog with wheels. The wheel dog.
Let's go fuck up the homeless man. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's fucking...
Well, episode 17, our last episode has been amazing.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Google's going to like snipe me with some drone.
Yeah.
And you've gone along with the whole homeless thing, so you're probably fucked too.
That's why we'll push him off the edge of the flat.
Changing the subject quickly. It was illegal to change a light bulb unless you were a licensed electrician in Victoria, Australia. You were unable to change a light bulb legally unless you were licensed to do so. So you couldn't change light bulbs in your house. You had to get an electrician to come in and do that. Under the Victorian law, obviously because it's in Victoria, it's not Victorian era, changing a light bulb without a valid licence was against the law. Taking your lights into your own hands brought a fine of $10 Australian. However, a revision to the 1998 Electrical Safety Act upon it updated this law. So up until 1998, you couldn't change your own bulbs without getting a fine.
Is that because a big bastard spider might jump out of it?
I mean, that would
change
happen
it?
anyway. It doesn't matter if you're changing the light bulbs or wiping your ass. You're going to
Yeah.
get you're going to get attacked by spiders. It's Australia. That's just. Spokesman for Energy Safe Victoria said that while the Electricity Safety Act makes it illegal to do your own electrical work if you are not licensed, changing a light bulb and removing a plug from a socket was specifically exempted from requirement under Ordinary Council G17. Oh, I'm so sorry. But yeah. They changed it, so the only thing you're allowed to legally do after 1998 is changing a bulb and removing a plug from a socket. So you can't wire your own plugs, you can't do anything over there without, you have to be a qualified electrician.
Wow.
They are really strict about all that shit, which is mad, because I mean, I've wired loads of plugs, I've done that. I think everyone I know has done that to some extent. I know you might have a thing or two going on with that right now.
Yeah,
but
few things.
But you the only thing you could do electrically in your own house is unplug a plug and plug it back in again and change a bulb, and that's only since '98. Before then, it was illegal to even do that.
I remember in our old house when we was having some problems with our fuse box, and you helped us out with a bit of fuse wire, looking at the things. So it's, the more you know. But I suppose you got to have like captain safety with it all. So if I tried to do shit like that, the house would blow up. So yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. Right, shall I fact you?
Ah, well.
Whilst filming in the Congo, the majority of the cast of The African Queen became sick with dysentery from drinking the water. Director John Huston and actor Humphrey Bogart emerged unscathed, allegedly because they drank nothing but whiskey throughout. Again, going back to my healing processes from before, everyone else is getting dysentery, but these two people, they're mad on whiskey.
Savage pissheads, just saved them.
That's because if dysentery come up to me, I'd give it.
Be fair though, John Huston and Bogart are both dead today.
Yeah.
But they did live pretty epic lives. Still, I saw that years ago.
I've not. I've heard of it and I did recognise it, and obviously the names I know of.
Pretty sure it was in the 50s. It's a very old film.
Very old film, see.
Very old film, yeah.
I've got one fact left.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, but they're little. I'll do a couple, then you do one, and I'll do the last little 3 because they're really small. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. In the state of Texas, one of the quirky laws that is on the book is that it's illegal to eat your neighbour's trash or eat out of any public dumpsters. That is in the law books.
Oh, really?
Yep, they had to make it a law. Texas, skanky Texas. Now, this is something I'd heard about years ago, right? So,
some more fights coming your way. you?
It is illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, I say it was illegal to sing "Happy Birthday" in public. Okay, now it entered. Right, so technically, it's believed that it entered the public domain recently. However, it isn't the same. Yeah, so it was basically the copyright reasons. Warner always claimed that they owned the song.
Okay.
Because there was a song that came out on the Warner record label, and they claimed it. Now there was a legal case in 2016 which overruled it, and they said you never owned it. But up until that point, it was about to enter public domain anyway, and then they found out actually. So they never made any money off it, strictly speaking. But like before 2016, if you say "Happy Birthday" to someone in a restaurant or something, any public place, like that technically you are singing their song, and you should pay a licensing fee.
Okay, that sounds a bit meh.
But it's so accepted. But like all songs were written by someone, so I suppose.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at like new up and coming musicals. I mean, they've got lots of things written.
I assume legally all the stuff's in order.
Yes.
So okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. So license wise, we're protected.
Yeah.
Or whoever made them might be protected, hypothetically, if there was someone made a musical.
Yeah, so if like someone wrote Horse Hats the musical, it's yeah.
Well, that's a very specific example, but yes,
Yeah.
certainly you would have licensing to be in place. But yeah, happy birthday. Don't do it. It's illegal. Don't risk it.
So,
Go on,
right.
do you do a thing, and then I've got a few little.
So illicit stills were often set up in remote, well-hidden areas. Whiskey production also became a nighttime activity to disguise the smoke that was created during the distillation process. This is the practice that earned whiskey the nickname of moonshine. So, because it's all illegal to do their stuff, that's how moonshine was made. That's it.
Cool.
Done at night time. That's why it's called moonshine, because you got to make it under the shine of the moon.
So you can't see the smoke because it's nighttime.
Exactly.
Okay. I didn't quite clock that. Okay. That's clever.
Yeah.
Because you can't see smoke at night.
No. And you can't see your trees after as well because they'll all go black.
Clever. Alright, I've got 3 little silly ones.
3 little silly ones coming your way.
Technically, in Spain, it is illegal to build sandcastles.
Hola.
No.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Qué?
El pollo diablo.
Pronto. No.
That's for our Spanish listeners, you're welcome.
Chewing gum is illegal in Singapore. Not just chewing gum, but actually owning chewing gum is illegal.
What?
If you spit chewing gum on the floor in Singapore,
Yeah.
they will lock you the fuck up, mate. Singapore is stunningly clean.
Yeah.
Actually, Germany's fucking clean like that. It's weird. If you go somewhere like that and you're like, why does it look so clean? It looks like, when you're like playing a game and you're like, it's just everything's, all the streets are immaculate or something. It's just because there's no, I don't like grime, because it's just, I don't know, they don't have that.
Yeah.
But they, last one. So
Last facts.
Last fact. In Alabama, it is illegal to put salt on railroad tracks, and it is technically punishable by death. Again, illegal to put salt on railroad tracks. This is believed to source back to because someone put it there to lure cows, because cows are attracted to salt.
Oh, standard.
So it's like you put salt all over the tracks, the cows would come in, train would hit the cows, fuck the world up, right?
Yeah.
So it's also illegal to put pennies on tracks, but the cow thing is punishable by death. It's for old like 1700s law, 1800s law. But anyway, it was like they said specifically, if you put salt on the track, you could cause a huge problem because you could lure cows in. So
Cows
moo,
No.
salty times.
Yeah.
We're all facted,
I'm affectulated.
defactulated. We've done all our facting.
Last fact. Whiskey is quite nice, and I've said that. Done.
I also like whiskey, and there's a law that we should probably drink some more whiskey.
Cool. I'm on that.
Let's do that now.
Right, let's do.
Yeah, and also if you're in Ramsgate tomorrow, we're gonna crush that.
We're gonna fuck shit up. We're gonna fucking start a
riot. Riot. Anyway.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Night, night, y'all.
See you tomorrow.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hi there.
Hi.
Would you like ice cream?
Oh, yeah.
Do you like hot dogs?
Oh, yeah.
How about fresh, sweet popcorn?
Oh, I love that's my favourite.
What about lollies?
Yeah.
What about, I don't know, a bigger cock?
Yeah.
Yeah, would you like, I don't know, some sexy hoes?
It wouldn't go down bad, yeah.
Would you like to maybe kill your enemies?
Yeah.
Is there anyone in particular you'd like to maybe end their life?
There's this one guy.
What did he do then? What do you want to do to him?
Well, he hurt me so bad. I
Don't tell me. I don't want to know what he did. What do you want to do to him?
want to rip his toes off and shove it up his arsehole.
Oh, we can do that. That's the number 4.
Oh, sweet.
Okay. All right. I'll just book that in, and we'll find a good day for you.
Oh, cheers. Thank you
And
so
did you
much.
still want some ice cream?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, man.
Happy town, happy times. We give you everyone happy times, happy times, happy tappy tapes, happy.
I'm happy.
Happy.com.
Happy. Done.